What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live this special late Twilight Vampire edition. Thank you for joining me at such a late hour. As you guys know that regularly watch, know that I've been on a super hectic schedule with my day business lately, so this is literally the only time I can been able to squeeze in live streams, so I notice we're a lot more sparsely attended, more attended than normal, and that's perfectly natural considering it's going on 1:30 in the a.m. Where I am right now. Technically Monday morning, late Sunday night, whatever floats your boat. Anyway, welcome, guys. It's great to see all of you. A wild weekend for news, and we are going to get down to it all, boppers. But before we get started, if I could just ask you to smash that like button. I want you to smash that like button like you'd smash your first childhood celebrity crush. Also, if you're new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I am, of course, Steven Steele. It's wonderful to have you with us as usual. And some really interesting developments as indicated by the thumbnail and the title that will occupy most of the show, that topic tonight. It's very fascinating. The developments that have been coming through almost in real time. We are still getting details right now. And also, if you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, that's obviously hugely appreciated for all the time and efforts put in. And So without any further ado, let's see who's active so far in the chat tonight. We have got Hunter Wayne, we've got Audio Freak, we've got Alan Schneider, Mike Tracy, The Hump, Deezy, Elijah Peterson, Alan Schneider, Keith Havens, Hunter Wayne, Georgie, Chi-Chi, welcome back, Chi-Chi. Jason H, he says, hi all, this is my alter ego. That must be Jason Huffman if I had to guess. But yeah, anyway, unless you've been living under a rock, there has been some tremendous news that came through, and people are just still learning, or rather wondering how to digest it, and that is Elon Musk has rejected the CEO's offer to join Twitter's director advisory board. Now, when this news first broke about 2 hours ago, it was assumed that the current CEO of Twitter had changed his mind, and that they've kind of ganged up on Elon and are kind of boxing him out from being from sitting on the Twitter board. But the more that details are coming out now, I'm more getting the impression that it was more Elon's decision to withdraw and essentially decline the offer to join Twitter's advisory board. So why don't we get down to some news stories and my notes about this, and I'll share with you guys a little bit from what's coming in. Now, this story is super fresh, you guys. It's less than 2 hours old, and developments are still coming in. So I have a bunch of tabs open, and I'm going to keep track of it in the event that the story develops while I'm live. And of course, I got my the co-hostess with the most. It's none other than Remy. Remy's here joining. She wanted to get a little screen time here and say hi to you guys, and she's super excited about the show tonight. As you can see, the tail is wagging and thumping. So without any further ado, Yahoo Finance and Bloomberg now reporting. Twitter says Elon Musk turned down offer to join its board. Twitter Inc. said Elon Musk has decided not to join its board in a stunning twist to a week-long saga that's captivated the tech community, touched off a renewed speculation about the company's future. Musk held many discussions with Twitter's directors, but the entrepreneur ultimately decided their offer to take the board seat. Chief Executive Officer Parag Agrawal tweeted, according to CEO Musk, informed Twitter of his decision just yesterday, the same day slated to formally join the board. And a direct quote from the current CEO of Twitter, I believe this is for the best. He said in an internal memo shared late Sunday, there will be distractions ahead, but our goals and priorities remain unchanged. So, I could go on with this, but why don't I start sharing my thoughts from everything that I have researched about this, you guys. It seems to me that it's becoming quite clear, and I think we're going to see more details follow tomorrow, that Elon Musk has declined, not the other way around, to take the director's seat on Twitter. Now, why, folks, would he do this, right? Why would he do this? Well, obviously, Elon Musk is a genius. That's no surprise to any of us here. I would anticipate that Elon is playing a long game of 3-4-dimensional chess, and I would expect nothing less from him. So what I am speculating at this point, according to what we do now know, is I believe that it's one of two scenarios. I believe that Elon Musk rejected the offer to sit on the board because he was already foreseeing and getting information that would lead him to believe that the rest of the Twitter staff, including the CEO, were in cahoots to essentially make his influence and render it powerless, right? So that's a very real possibility. From everything we know about Twitter's history and Twitter culture, that could be a real possibility. Now, another possible scenario, folks, is Elon Musk could very well purposely rejected the director seat offer because he is not under the restriction of share percentage ownership. Let me elaborate on that. So, sitting on the board of directors at Twitter, he would have had to agree that he couldn't buy any more than 14% of the shares of Twitter shares. Now, by him rejecting the director's board seat, he is now freed up to buy as many shares as he likes. Okay, so things could get very, very interesting here. It is entirely possible that the main reason why Elon Musk is rejecting the offer to sit on the Twitter director's board is so he can buy a ton of shares, right? He can buy a ton of shares and essentially begin his plan to entirely take over the platform. Now, he could have very well weighed out the pros, and I'm sure he's very well weighed out the pros and cons of each approach. He could have very well concluded and decided that he could be much more of a powerful influence on Twitter, not sitting on the board, and well, he can keeps buying up more shares of the percentage of Twitter in its totality. So it's possible that, by this time next year, we could see Elon Musk with, who knows, well over half of Twitter's total shares. And at that point, there's really no stopping the Musk. So which route and which line of logic that is going on here remains to be seen, but both are very fascinating. On the other hand, folks, if he is backing out of Twitter due to kind of a rigged system that he doesn't feel that he could be very effective in, I don't think Elon will let it rest at that. I don't think he'll let it rest at that, folks. I think that he will reroute and that he will start his own platform. I think it's going to be one of the two. I don't think it's going to be anything less. And I don't think we should expect anything less from our man Elon. It's going to be one of these two scenarios, mark my words. And it's not going to be anything in between. Elon Musk fully recognizes the seriousness of basically a culture of corruption within Twitter. It's a rigged algorithm. It's a rigged system. I put out a short video the other day about it in which I talked about the fact that it's essentially a societal curation process that's very malicious. It's very malicious that dictates narratives and interests on anybody that uses this uber popular platform. Let's see who else we got in the chat. It is RW. Welcome, RW. Doge launches June 1st. Is that true? I'm not entirely sure. I know that, who we can ask firsthand, because the last time I talked to the CEO of the Geometric Energy Corporation, and for those of you who don't know, that is the company responsible for the Doge 1 rocket launch mission that they are working together with SpaceX on. The last time I talked to him, he said that wasn't the correct date and that people were misunderstanding that launch date with a different mission that they had going on, which is simply going to orbit the Earth. So I don't think that's the correct date. However, there is a date coming. I'm going to have Samuel Reed, and he's the CEO. I'm going to have him on my 1-year anniversary show this week. So it's going to be wild, wild stuff, guys. Don't miss it. That's coming this Wednesday and Thursday. I'm going to have the 1-year anniversary special. There's going to be 10 different guests. There's going to be Catherine Brodsky. There's going to be Coco. Coco's going to be here. Who else? Obviously, Samuel Reed, Nick Balls, Sadaf Jadrin, and the list goes on, guys. The list goes on. It's going to be just a phenomenal. There's going to be Gary LaChance, Julia Love. It's going to be wild. It's going to be super wild. And also, don't forget, not tomorrow night, but the night after tomorrow, Tuesday night, I have a very special guest for the first time. That's going to be Phil Hall, who's an incredible journalist and film critic, who has just a really impressive history. So we're going to get into all that. Don't miss that. That's going to be Tuesday night. My special guest, Phil Hall. Let's treat him nice. Let's give him a nice warm welcome. I've been on his podcast before. He did a feature on me in Benzinga a couple months ago. Just a great guy and a super fascinating history. He's written multiple books on independent film, and he was even in this small. He even was an actor in this small horror indie film called Bikini Bloodbath. And so I'm going to ask him about that too. Don't miss that, you guys. Don't miss that. Anyway, someone popped the cherry on the first super chat of the night. Jason Huffman coming in with $3 to make you holler. Appreciate that, my man. Appreciate that. See what's else going on in the chat. Doge One Mission is going to be in October. Mikey Dembo is. Well, you know what? We are going to find out from the CEO of Geometric Energy Corporation himself. I will be asking him this live on the air this Wednesday. Don't want to miss it, folks. Don't want to miss it. Also, yeah, Ashley Decan is going to be on. I'm sure some of you are very familiar with her. I'd had her once on the show before, and she's very popular more in the NFT community, so watch out for that. Scott Herforth, good to see you. He says, just bought 5K Dogecoin. We are in great shape. Bold move, and not an unwise one, in my opinion, coming in from Scott Herforth. So let me get to the next article on the featured story for the night, and that is Elon Musk rejecting the Twitter board of directors position. Fox Business now reporting, you guys. Elon Musk calls out Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber for rarely tweeting, as he asks, is Twitter dying? Elon Musk notes, most of these top accounts tweet rarely, post very little content. Musk, who this week was invited to join Twitter's board of directors, retweeted rankings showing the top accounts by followers. Musk asserted that the majority of the platform's top accounts rarely utilize, and we've got Remy just really acting up. You know, sometimes I think I'm the ultimate night owl, but sometimes my dog really kind of outdoes me. She really gets a second wind at the most unpredictable times, just like me. Anyway, now why would Elon Musk float this out here remains to be seen, but it really adds a pretty curious dynamic to this story. For Elon Musk to assert himself in the conversation, to the degree of asking his followers, is Twitter dying? Is Twitter dying? No, I don't think it's dying, but I think it is severely wounded in a way, and I think it's Twitter's culture of corruption that is to blame. You can only censor so many people. You can only subvert and dictate the conversation to the extensive degrees that Twitter has before you really start disenfranchising people and really driving down the broad, wide interest in the platform. I really think that had a major effect on stifling and stagnating the growth and popularity of Twitter. However, Elon Musk is arguably the most colorful and popular Twitter user on there to date. And so we were talking about a man with 81 million followers who tweets pretty unpredictably and pretty spirited and, in true meme lord fashion. So I think that this is just adds an extra dynamic. I think if I had to speculate, knowing what I've observed about Elon thus far, I think he's just shaking things up. And he's kind of punk rock in that way. And in terms, he's about as punk rock as a billionaire gets, right? And so I think he's asking questions and he's challenging the kind of complacent status quo within Twitter to shake things up, to challenge things, to get things moving in a more exciting direction than where they have been going. So at the end of the day, I think that's what Elon's motivation was towards bringing something like that up. Chi-Chi says Remy is freaking adorable. Yes, she is. Some call her Rem Rem. Scott Herverth coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Real deal, Steven Steele. Truly is the realest one in the game. Appreciate that, Scott. Appreciate you so much. And thank you for your continued support. The Wall Street Journal coming in saying Elon Musk reverses decision to join Twitter board. Tesla chief spent the weekend tweeting criticism on the social media company. So this is pretty interesting, right? Again, the timeline where Elon Musk is tweeting out various criticisms of the platform before announcing that he's not interested in joining the board of directors. The thing that's curious is Elon Musk, it's not like he was just all talk. He is now the largest shareholder to date. He owns comfortably over 9% of the entire company. I don't think he would have made a power move like that unless he felt that he could influence and change Twitter for the better in very significant ways. Now, like I said at the top of the show, it's going to be one of two scenarios. How it plays out remains to be seen. If I had to put a percentage on one of those two scenarios, I'm leaning about 60-40. 60% that Elon plans on buying even way more of the percentage of the shares of the company in totality by not sitting as a board of director. That legally allows him to do so. Wherein he's thinking he could probably more effectively subvert the entire company over a period of time than rather do it as one sitting board of director with a cap of not being able to own more than 14% of the company. That's just my intuition as I see it so far. Also, more interesting Elon news as it relates to Twitter. Yesterday, he was floating an idea about I can't pronounce this word right now. I think this is what happens when I've been working all day and caffeinated, right? At this late hour. Authentication check marks, no ads for Twitter's Blue service. For those of you who aren't familiar, Twitter Blue is kind of the upgrade feature on Twitter where you can pay a few bucks a month to remove ads and have a super short window edited feature and a couple other benefits as well. You can make an NFT or profile picture and have it I think you can have it for sale directly, things like this. So Elon Musk proposed that everyone who signs up for Twitter Blue pays $3 a month should get an authentication check mark, but it should be different from the public figure or official account check mark. And I agree with that. It should be a different kind of check mark. I think the motivation for Elon here, let me just adjust my camera a little higher here, for him proposing such a measure is that by bringing down the overall price of Twitter Blue, he wants to popularize it for most of the users. So a ton more people sign up for Twitter Blue and get the authentication check mark as a Twitter Blue user. His logic in doing this is that it will cut down significantly on the amount of spam and bots and malicious actors that are on Twitter, and Twitter is well populated with all of these things. His thinking is the spam bots won't bother sign up for an account, even if it's for like $2 or $3 an account. It'll be way too expensive to make the bot farms worth it to go through all that. So yeah, I see where he's coming from there. I think that's a pretty reasonable course of action to take to cut down severely on the spam activity on Twitter. Let's see. Alex Price, good to see you back in the mix. Haven't seen that name in here for a while. By the way, Alex Price also coming with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Alex. Viruses don't like the introduction of medication. Twitter is sick and Elon is the cure. No lie detected there. There is a lot of resistance to change when you're trying to subvert a culture of corruption. And sometimes, honestly, the only way to do that is to wield someone that has the resources like Elon to simply buy out the corrupt, right? And so that is what is being attempted right now with Twitter. It's also entirely possible, guys, that Elon is backing out with the potential intent of rerouting and starting his own alternative platform. If Elon Musk were to start his own social media platform, would you be likely to use that platform more than Twitter? I'm going to pose that in a poll right now. Just give me a moment. I'm going to put, if Elon started his own social media platform, would you use it more than Twitter? And we're just going to put yes, no. Sorry about that. It's being a little wonky here on my end. But the poll is coming through momentarily, I hope. I'm trying to ask the community, and it's not letting me ask the community. The button to toggle for it just isn't like... I think I might see what the problem is. There we go. Okay. I'll leave that poll up for about 20-25 minutes, and I'll come back to it and let you guys know the results. But go ahead and vote now on what you think there. As I was saying, guys, Jason, before I get to the next thing, Jason Huffman coming in with a $10 to make you holler. Thank you for the $10 super sticker with the old school gaming controller with the shades coming down, the pixelated shades. I love it. I love it. You know, I haven't been a gamer since I was in high school, honestly, but I have been researching gaming consoles. Billy Marcus has been giving me some advice on what gaming console that I should buy. Now, keep in mind, I don't have a ton of time to play video games, but I am going to pull the trigger on a gaming console, but pretty soon here. Anyway, let's get to the next story. Morning Glory. Daily Wire reporting Elon Musk pulls out. Elon Musk pulls out from joining Twitter's board. Let me finish that sentence. Entrepreneur Elon Musk has reversed course and decided not to join. You know, it's always a wise decision for a man to pull out most of the time, I just gotta say. So entrepreneur Elon Musk has reversed course and decided not to join Twitter's board after becoming the company's largest shareholder. The company's CEO said in a statement on Sunday, Elon Musk has decided not to join our board, said the CEO. We announced on Tuesday that Elon Musk would be appointed to the board contingent on a background check of formal acceptance. Arguel continued, Elon's appointment to the board has become officially effective on 4/9, but Elon shared the same morning that he will no longer be joining the board. I believe that this is for the best. We have always value input from our shareholders, whether or not they are on the board or not. Elon is our biggest shareholder, and we will remain open to his input. So that statement from the CEO also leads me to believe that it's probably, like I said before, I'm leaning in the direction that Elon thinks he'll likely be a much bigger influence, not sitting on the board. And again, that won't limit him to the amount of shares that he can buy up. So just keep that in mind. And it's not like they're going to suspend Elon's Twitter account for talking smack, right? They're not going to do that. He's got him kind of by the balls, so to speak, right? So I think that's more than likely what's coming. Now, Dogecoin holders, check this out. We have got some potentially huge news on the way. FX Street now reporting, what are the odds for Dogecoin price to trigger a 75% upswing this week? Dogecoin price action since May 3rd, 2021 has set up a multi-month failing wedge pattern, hinting towards an explosive move. Since its last breakout, Doge is consolidating before it triggers its 75% upswing towards 22 cents. A weekly candlestick below 11 cents would invalidate the bullish thesis for Doge. So just to summarize there, that technical analysis and that prediction, and I checked it out, I agree with it. And unless Doge goes way down to 11 cents or below, I think the probability of a 75% Dogecoin rally within the next week looks looks pretty darn probable, honestly. And I gotta say, the last 2 bull runs that I said were pretty good probabilities have transpired. So knock on wood, and hopefully my my calls keep continuing in their accuracy. But wouldn't we like to see that? And honestly, Dogecoin is insanely undervalued, and at least deserves to be upwards of a quarter at this point. And I really do think that we're going to see Dogecoin ascend and stick at a floor around 25 cents within the next 2 months here. I think that I'd put that in high probability category. So let's go to the next story, guys. Now, a lot of technical analysis, which is interesting dynamic here, are saying that Bitcoin could drop below 40K once again in the near future. I think this is a moderate possibility. Now, good news for investors, in my humble opinion. If we get another shot to purchase Bitcoin below 40,000, I'm not a financial advisor, just my opinion, folks, but I would take it. Don't scratch off the margins that can still be made from Bitcoin, even at these buy-in rates. I know it's not 8 years ago. I know it's not 5 years ago, but there's still, I believe, in the long term, a lot of money to be made on Bitcoin profit margins if you've got the patience. So I know that if this comes to pass, and it very well may in the next 10 days, and I don't think it'll happen for very long. I think if Bitcoin dips below 40K, I think it's going to happen very briefly. And during that brief stint below 40K, I will be buying up more Bitcoin to fill out my portfolio. Another article that kind of touches on this: Bitcoin whales fill their bags despite warnings of Bitcoin price possibly falling below 40K. The bullish sentiment is so strong for Bitcoin, even the whales are buying in mass even before it possibly heads there. That is an extremely bullish sign. The market value only tells part of the story. Another thing you want to look at is volume, and what are the whales doing, right? And what are the whales doing? And another really important thing is how much Bitcoin, how much Dogecoin, how much Ethereum is being bought, not only bought up in mass, but being switched over to cold storage wallets. It's a ton right now. It's a ton, particularly Bitcoin. I've talked about this many times in the past. Bitcoin, with its limited hard cap, I think we're going to burn through Bitcoin much, much quicker than anybody anticipates. Another reason why I think both Ethereum and Dogecoin are going to be well positioned to be excellent investments long term, because once Bitcoin keeps getting lower in its supply, people are going to look for alternatives with different work models, and that is with strong utility. And I think both Ethereum and Dogecoin are most well positioned to really step up to the plate there and be, again, like I've often said, the most transacted digital currencies in a retail space. So I don't know if anybody noticed, but the Bitcoin Bull, the statue, it's that was sitting out, that's in Miami now, that was kind of debuted at the most recent Bitcoin conference in Miami. The Bitcoin Bull statue is kind of mechanical, but people couldn't help but notice that it was, shall we say, castrated. It was a ballless bull. It was a ballless bull. A writer at CoinDesk has written an article speculating on why this was so. The meaning of Miami's castrated Bitcoin bull. In Miami, we have big balls, Mayor Suarez said on CoinDesk TV, referring to the Bitcoin 2022 statue that lacks the anatomical part, standing 11 feet tall and glistening in the southern sun. The Miami bull statue has been called both a crime against God and pretty cool, the robotic reimagining. Actually, that's kind of a pet peeve word of mine. We reimagined. Most of the time when you hear about Hollywood reimagining their approach to certain classic films, it really means you're in for quite a crappy rendition. The robotic reimagining of the Wall Street landmark is 3,000 pounds, made of chrome and fiberglass and sports blue laser eyes. Miami Mayor Francis X. Suarez says it speaks to the city's vitality. I can tell you that in Miami we have big balls, and that's all I can tell you. So that was, I mean, that's, I guess, that it's designed. Let's see if he goes into this further. I designed some huge mechanical balls to Disky, who has done art design for the Transformers film series, which his latest work draws inspiration, told Forbes. Suarez, who spoke to the Bulls unveiling, is working to turn Miami into a hub of modern finance and the capital of capital, he often says. So there's really no good response aside from the mayor saying that, oh, Miami, we have big balls, so don't worry about the sackless mechanical Bitcoin bull residing right now. But I will say that the mayor of Miami has been excellent in terms of modifying his city to be incredibly crypto friendly, incredibly Bitcoin friendly. Miami, far and away at the very top 3 cities in the country, working its way towards cryptocurrency adoption on a mass scale. And I think Miami has a very bright future in that regard. Very bright future in that regard. Provided we start electing smarter leaders more towards the top that aren't going to destroy the country from the inside out before we get there, right? So we'll see how it shakes out, folks. We'll see how it shakes out. Next story, Morning Glory. We're going to an article from the Daily Wire talking about how Nick Cage did a Reddit AMA, and that goes over some of the weirdest questions and answers. I'm a Nick Cage fan. He's over the top. He's ridiculous. I know who else is a Nick Cage fan. My friend Crypto Batman. He's probably even a bigger Nick Cage fan than I am. Actor Nicolas Cage participated in a Reddit AMA and asked me anything for him. And he really did take questions about everything from his least favorite movie quote to have shouted at him by fans to his favorite pasta shape. We'll get to that momentarily. Let me see what you guys are up to in the chat. My man, Steven Steele, sup, brother? Delos Doge, man, where have you been? Been a long time, my friend. Haven't seen you in quite some time. Guys, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Take a split second of your time. Doesn't cost you a dime. Number one thing you can do to help a channel like this ascend to more viewers, work through those tricky YouTube algorithms. Again, if you're new here, you're watching Steven Steele live. I'm, of course, Steven Steele. It's great to have you with us. And listen, we've got an exceptionally cool community here, a very welcoming community here. A lot of awesome friendships have been made, and I want you to be a part of this awesome growing community. So hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell, and ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. I don't think Mama Crypto's here for a change. Benjamin, good to see you. Greetings from Berlin. Welcome from Berlin, and thanks for watching all the way across from over there. Why don't we do a geographical check right now? Where is everyone from? I like to do these every once in a while. Usually I end up doing them once a month. So everyone put your location, your geographic location in the chat. I'm going to read them out loud. Alex Price coming in with a $5 make you holler. Can't wait for the anniversary show. You've done great for the community. Let's go, Steven. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And I really do appreciate it. We've been on such an awesome journey together, guys. About 1 year ago, I started this channel, and we've come a long way, baby. Sorry about that. We've really come a long way, and we're going to have so many awesome guests. Like I said, we're going to have 10 guests over the course of 2 nights, and it's going to be wild. It's going to be just kind of a wild, fun party stream, and we're going to let loose and have a good time. Let's see who Louisiana. Chi-Chi's in Louisiana right now. Bulgaria. Awesome. Kip's coming in from Central Illinois. All right. California. Washington, D.C. Scott Herford, Central California. Bangor, Maine. I like Maine. I really do. I like those small, far East Coast cities. They have their own vibe, you know. Pennsylvania. I definitely got relatives over there in Pittsburgh. South Florida. Yes, indeed. Florida, man. A lot of crazy stuff goes down in Florida, I tell you. What else do we got going on, guys? Alan's living on a basement on a hill. He's actually being literal there. And someone's coming in from Mars, where you get the most candy bars. All right. Anyway, let's see where this poll ended up that I asked earlier, about a half hour ago. no, about 15 minutes ago. If Elon started his own social media platform, would you use it more than Twitter? A resounding 88% of you voted yes. Just 12% of you voted no. It's an absolute landslide so far in the sentiment of this community anyway. What would happen there? I tend to agree. If Elon Musk were to start his own social media platform, I do think that a lot of people would migrate there, and it would be more successful in Twitter over the long haul. I'm kind of lagging on my end, I think because I overused my computer today. So let me know if I'm lagging on your end or if I'm coming through fine. The visuals on my end show that I'm lagging, but that's not necessarily what's happening on your end. So just let me know, guys. Just let me know. Anyway, let's take a look, kind of zany here. This Nicolas Cage Reddit AMA. Actor Nicolas Cage participated in the Reddit AMA. Now it's time to ask Nick your burning questions. Let's see what some of the funny ones were. So, Empire Magazine editor Nick Samayan quickly highlighted a question he thought was best. The one that revealed Cage's favorite pasta shape, which he apparently discovered alongside fellow actor Charlie Sheen. And Nicolas Cage's answer was, I once went to an Italian restaurant in San Fran about 25 years ago with Charlie Sheen. Cage replied, noting that they had gone to that restaurant specifically to try the pasta that came back in the shape of a square tube. We loved it so much that we went back the next day to try it again. You know, I'm not a big pasta fan myself, but in the days where I did eat it, I can't say I've ever experienced pasta that's a straight up square tube. What is your dream role that you have yet to complete? Someone else asked Nicolas Cage. To which Nick Cage responded, I would like to play Julius Verne's Captain Nemo because of the character's love of the ocean I share with him. Cage said, I think Nicolas Cage could be the ultimate ocean man. Ocean man. Who did that song? I think Ween did a song called Ocean Man. Ocean man, baby, by the hand, take me by the hand, something with a tan. Ocean Man. It's a good song. I just haven't heard it in a long time. See, she's trying to sing it. Remy's trying to sing Ocean Man by Ween. Do you like Ween, Remy? Oh! Yeah, we got a thumping tail. That's affirmative. Another person asked Nicolas Cage about... Yes, indeed. Asked about the movies he loved, specifically the ones he could watch over and over without ever getting tired of them. Cage gave two responses to that question, Apocalypse Now and Spirited Away. So these are two of Nicolas Cage's favorite movies, both brilliant choices. I mean, goodness gracious, I gotta confirm that I love both The Spirited Away and Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now is so brilliant. That movie is so intense that actors on that film describe how they almost went crazy while filming it because it was just so intense, and they felt like it was all really happening, you know. The Clash, the classic punk rock band The Clash, had a song called Charlie Don't Surf on their double album called Sandinista. At the time, it wasn't really a popular album. It was seen as kind of a failure because they experimented with so many different styles of music on Sandinista. I think it's pretty brilliant personally. But anyway, I had the song called Charlie Don't Surf, and it's all references to the movie Apocalypse Now. There's some other useless information for you guys to digest. I'm full of that, folks. Anyway, let's see what else is on my notes for tonight. I think I'm getting pretty low on the notes. We've been going about 45 minutes here. I think that's about it for tonight, folks. It's about 2 a.m. here, and I actually still have some work to do, but I'm going to be back on tomorrow night. So I'll be back tomorrow night, Monday night, and Tuesday night. I'm going to be streaming. Don't be bummed out, because I'm going to be streaming almost every single night this week. Don't forget, Tuesday night, special guest, Benzinga journalist, film critic, writer, Phil Hall, here on Steven Steele Live Tuesday night. Wednesday, the 1-year anniversary party. Thursday, also the 1-year anniversary party. Mark it down. Don't miss it. Be here or be square, ladies and gentlemen. The lineup is powerful. The lineup is wild. And I'm looking up the entire lineup on my tabs here because I'm having a hard time remembering all 11 names of my guests for that night. Just give me a moment here and I'll sock them to you. Sock them to you. Man, I keep scrolling through my Twitter feed to find out where that announcement was on my 1-year anniversary. Okay, here it is, guys. April 13th, lineup is Ashley D, Gary LaChance, Julia Love, and Tim Cook. Tim Cook is a former NFL player and now is super entrenched in Dogecoin and the NFT scene, and we had him on once before. Going to be great to reconnect with him. And then Aussie Sam. Those of you who've been watching the show a long time, remember Aussie Sam? She was my occasional co-hostess, and she is just an awesome, vibrant personality. And guess where she's from? Just take a wild guess. Australia. So it'll be great to reconnect with her. April 14th's lineup on Thursday night, it's going to be journalist, writer, Catherine Brodsky. Now, Catherine has written for anyone from Esquire magazine to Playboy to Newsweek, and she's just a really sharp, independent thinker, a really breath of fresh air out there in the space. And then we got Sadaf Jadran, rapper Little Mook, who's most known for his Dogecoin and the Moon rap song. And then we've got Coco Nakamoto. You guys know Coco. She's a personality that's been around a while. Nick Balls, of course. And Samuel Reed, the CEO of the Geometric Energy Corporation. Folks, I got a Doge that needs my attention, needs me to play tug of war for a bit. Plus, I got some work to do. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you soon. Stay positive. We've got many, many big things ahead of us. Until next time, this is your man, Real Deal. Steven Steele, sign out. See you guys.